Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good? It's a cruisy Wednesday afternoon in the house today. It's just me, and Ginny, who's sound asleep in my office next door. A bit of a plain Jane today. There's no necklace, there's no scarf, there's no anything. I have literally just moved from my sewing room next door into my second sewing room, which is this one, and just kept sewing. So I'm sorry, but you're literally just joining me for an afternoon of sewing. Hey, who's here? Good afternoon, Christine. Hello, Carol. Hello, Judy. Good afternoon, Marja. How are you today? You good? Fiona. Lisa, hope you're warm. I am warm. I've got a jumper on today, mate. I'm all good. Yeah, which is a bit of a change. But sorry, I'm just looking at my. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm looking at the weird things out my window, but it's all of the construction on the chook shed. Just look different from a different view here. Yes, I am super warm. Thank you. I've turned the heating off because the heating vent is there, so I don't want it blowing down on me. There's wind tunnels and there's hot air from above, completely different things. Good afternoon, Yvonne, Barbara. Hi, Suzanne. Sue McGotch's here. Sharon Keys is here, and all the ladies from, hello to all the ladies from Sharon. Diana is here, our resident Costa Rican. There's a show on in Spain this weekend too. Diana, in some weird and wonderful looking building. I'll have to have a look later and tell you about it. Pam Stanton, hello to you. Yeah, I bet it's warm in Costa Rica. It's not here. Melbourne is doing a real winter, as is Dubbo. Cheryl will be the first to tell you. Suzanne, hi. Carol, hi. Louise, I think Tim's 2 days away for you, giving you a call. Hello, Joy. Hello, Anne. Hello, Lynn. Yeah, Lynn, I've got an order out for you because I'm in charge of orders this week, as per the manual supplied by you-know-who. You know I hate reading manuals, but I'm trying my very best. Mandy, hello. Fun fact, Australia Post's automatic system for businesses does not include Singapore. That was a challenge today. It's 8 degrees. Holy, yeah, it's not that great here either. Karen, hello. Your order is out too. Marie Noel, hi. Oh, Fiona's relit her fire today. Yes. Fiona, it is winter, and what do you mean you haven't got much wood left? My neighbour here has enough to maintain 3 huge fires in a massive log cabin somewhere. She's got so much wood next door. So I get the ambience of wood fire smoke coming through the window when it's open for Miss Gin, but I just don't have the fire. Jenny Sleeman, hello to you. And I bet if Flick's in here anywhere. Sylvia, hello. It'll be, whatever we've got, it'll be colder by a couple of degrees in St. Helens. You're watching from Berrigan. Oh, nice. Lucky buggers. Diane's here. Sharon Keys, Diane wants to talk to you. I think it was you, or was it Bernadette, about the party bus in Gambie? Linda, hi. Alyssa, hi. Hi. Karen Kevin. All right, I could just keep going. I could just keep going. Yes, Sylvia, super cold in Yamerka, I'm sure, but we'll all be rugged up, and the heating's good in the hall. Diane, thank you. We're going to talk about this quilt today. It is an old favourite of mine. We're going to talk about what we're going to do with it over the next few months. Gillian, hello in Perth. How are things? Can you please send some warm weather if you've got it this way, please, because it's freezing over here. It's 21 degrees at 10 p.m. in Costa Rica. I just don't want to know that. I just feel myself thawing out thinking about it. Sally, Jenny Miller, good afternoon, sweetie. Jenny Miller, you take the prize. If there wasn't a prize, I'm going to make up a prize for being the first one to book the August Needleworkers Soiree. You were first up, mate. I'm quite sure you were. Lynn Fairweather, hello. How are you today? Yes. Where have I been since I... No, I haven't. No, I've already been, haven't I, and talked to you on Saturday. But lots has happened since Saturday. Lots happens every week here. But first of all, we have, Margaret and I mastered trybooking.com. And we're very proud of ourselves that we have managed to successfully, and we believe accurately, upload our 2 days at Nagambie. Excuse me, I really need the coffee. I'm a bit parched. So, I haven't mastered how to change the image on my little switchy machine here, but I will show you. This is the flyer. Now, have a quick look. How cool is that? See, it says Nagambie Mechanics Institute Hall with a typo. Let's not go there, but I will fix that up before I put it in the newsletter. In the high street of Nagambie. So, if you've been waiting for the second soiree, I hope you have. You know what's really exciting about this going to Nagambie is that it's kind of like the town girls with the country girls all getting together, because Sylvia will testify to this. There's a heap of girls who are all going to come from up Nagambie. Jocelyn's organising her table. There's a whole heap coming from up there. So they're going to sort of come from all areas, from Bendigo across and Shepparton and all that area up there. All that. And then we're all going to go up from the city and we're all going to meet, take over Nagambie for 2 days, right there on the lake. So the hall, the Mechanics Institute Hall, you would have seen it on, I put it on Facebook and on the soiree Facebook page, is just beautiful and oh so nouveau Melba. You know what, you guys picked that up before me, which is really embarrassing, but I'm in that wedding mode again at the moment. You know, I'm running around finding metallic gold bags for all of our kits and the burgundy serviettes and all those sorts of really yummy things. Hang on, let me tell you what the flyer says. Join us for a weekend of beautiful stitching, delicious morning teas and inspirational projects. Who wrote that? Oh, your designer hostesses, Karen Stiles, Margaret Upston and Lisa Turner, look forward to spending 1 or 2 days with like-minded needleworkers for some serious fun. So there are 3 different projects again each day, and so if you come both days you get 6 different ones. Mine are all planned. Margaret's nearly finished her planning. Karen's planned hers, and I know you go, show us the projects. It just doesn't happen that quick because it's a lot of planning and you have to purchase things to go in them, which I have done. I've done customised Epiplex templates for one of my projects. So anyway, we will have them all out for you to have a look at very soon. You'll see we'll start putting little teasers out on the Needleworker Soiree Facebook page. Now, this one, all the same as last time, but I'm going to put myself out there and say bigger, because it was our first one at Garfield last time. We didn't overdo it. As you know, Karen had just got in 48 hours before from overseas, so we didn't push it too hard, but this time there will be a massive quilt display. Karen Stiles, because of the building, will be hanging some of her beautiful reproduction quilts. Stunning. It's going to be really good. We'll have the hall full. I want you all to bring a show and tell as well. And we've got this gorgeous old stage, so we're going to do lots of show and tell and stuff from the stage as well. So it's going to be super duper. I will put a newsletter out as Chandler's Cottage newsletter this week with lots more details, some little brag shots, and then you've got a little bit more information. In the meantime, this is my final plug for today on the soiree. I promise I will not mention it again. You can book through trybooking.com. So, Fiona Greenslead, how are you? It's not morning, V, it's afternoon. How are you? Good to see you. Jillian, thanks. Let's, well, it must have been easy for you to book in, Jenny, because you were right there. Bernadette, you are most welcome. Most welcome. Okay, I am working on my Bugs Life. So if you remember, they do kind of continue a little bit like a soap opera, aren't they? So here are the days of our lives. Oh, in a quilter's life. I have to plug that plug in. But since I saw you on Saturday, I have been doing a lot, but I neglected the Bugs Life quilt that we were working on. So this morning, got up at 6 and filled everyone's mail orders, did the fly down to the post office, and came back and started work where I should have been on this. So if I show you, I can go that way. My overhead camera is a bit dicky. Rob's going to die because he, for the 100th time, he thought he'd fixed it. Here you go. So do you remember that we were doing our strip sewing, cross-cutting? Now, a lot of you have ordered all of your fabric, which is fantastic for this quilt. I did just have a look before. There is, there's only about 3 meters of this fabric left, and you need 1 meter if you're going to make this quilt that I'm working on. So hop in and grab it. Now, I haven't even had a look to see if today's banner's gone up. I'm assuming it did. Steve set it all up before he headed off to the Otways. If not, you put in the search window show 48. Yes, girls, that is show 48. Live shows since we moved home. How horrendous is that? I can feel a party coming on for the 50th, I can tell you. So this is what I'm up to. Do you remember we did this the other day? We sewed on, we started making up our little blocks, our fragmented 9 patch. Then we did our little cut off corners, trimmed off the excess, and now I'm up to pushing these back. Just a minute ago, before we went live, I went and grabbed my pins because I thought I can pin these onto the quilt behind me and show you. So really all the hard work is done, all the strip sewing, all the cross cutting, putting the blocks together is done for me, and it is super quick. It really is a quilt in a day project. And then I am up to joining them together in rows, and then big long sashing pieces across. So it's come together really quick. We spoke the other day about making it in all different types of fabrics, and how the original one was actually in Oriental fabrics, and then the old pattern that we've got, we actually did it for a short time in Under the Australian Sun Floral. So we're slowly transforming that pattern. But after we spoke the other day, do you remember we spoke about doing even the possibility of doing it in this fabric, and I have decided it's going to happen, because this is going to give us a really different perspective. So what I want to do with this beautiful thing that we've had up is actually, when I cut my strips across the bolt to cut out my squares, to my best ability, I'm going to keep them in order so that I get the denser purple down the bottom for the big blocks, the plain blocks for the features, and then they'll go lighter as they go up the quilt. I think that's what's going to happen. So I've committed to doing that. But the other thing about using this one, if you like the idea of getting back to some really good speed sewing, you know, fast project in a day stuff, because this is such a complex fabric, instead of using 9 different ones, I'm going to use just 4 features, and I'm going to go back to the original pattern layout and use the feature fabric for 5 of the blocks that are in here. So when you look at this now, my feature fabric is going to sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on the corners and in the center. I'll randomly cut those strips, obviously, at the end, and then I will use some strips. So again, I'm going to get that really good variation all the way through. Now, what I will do is I'm actually going to kit this one. So this kit will have 1.5 meters of this, not just 1 meter like we're using for the bugs, so that we've got enough to do all our feature squares, and then I've got enough to do those strips to go into the actual 9 patch. So with that, just so you know what I'm up to for the next couple of days, the 5 fabrics that I'll be using are this beautiful thing. So this is the one that came with it. Look at the mess. Just let me move some of this. Just trashed the place. Sunday, I did one of those quilter things. I walked into my office and I just went, no, I can't work in these conditions. And I actually spent 7 hours cleaning out my sewing room. And it was ruthless. It was full on. There was loud music. And there was a lot of what on earth? And so now I can work in there. So the things are happening a lot quicker. I shouldn't say that. On one table, there is just applique sampler borders and hexagons and stuff everywhere. And on another one is the geisha. So it's just stuff everywhere. All right, these are the 4 that I'm going to put into my kit. Now again, with the ombre, you're going to get all this beautiful movement. So as the strips are cut, sorry, you're a bit chopped off there, aren't you? As these strips are cut and used, every time I go through and cross-cut my 2.5 pieces, I'm going to get different effects and different shading, which is going to be fantastic, from this dark purple right through to the pale blue, which exactly mimic what's in the feature print. This is one of those other gorgeous ones we're using in A Bug's Life in the beginning. Northcote Shimmer. It's got a smidge, just a smidge of little silver speckle on it. It is not offending me. It's not overpowering or anything. So that is a go. And then we've got the petal one that came with it. So this is what this means. That's what I'm doing next couple of days. So I will get that together. And then I will release it as a whole kit with those and this one. If you really like the pink version, which is around here somewhere. Oh, it's a bit hanging up over there, you can see. If you really like the pink one, just ask. I can do one for you in that as well. I'll just custom select fabric. Remember we had that gorgeous ombre, is it VPC, something like that, that goes with it. I'm running with this W2, is that right? W2 Shadow Play. I have taken that offline today because I need, sounds really naughty, but I need to make sure I've got enough to do the kits. So that is down. But these look good, don't they? I'm really happy with these. We'll pin them up. There are. Sylvia's going to book tonight. Well, Sylvia, we can do it with Under the Australian Sun. It's been done before. You can do it. This is the old one. Did you see this the other day? It was called Oriental Windows with Aussie fabric in it. What was I thinking? There you go. So it will work. You want a print that's got a lot of movement in it and it changes. So this print's really good because you've got a big repeat and it changes across the bolt. And you really want something that, with the bugs, they're small, but they work because of the fabrics we've found to go with them. Yes, but if you want all of your blocks to look really different, if you somewhere between a 30-inch and a 60-inch repeat is going to give you a lot of variety across. Just got to work with whatever's best for you. And as I said, if you've got all these coordinates and you don't have a feature print, then think about doing a plain background one and doing some hexagon flowers or something on your feature. When I was looking at the shadow plays, while I was down on my knees looking at the shadow play shelf, oh, sorry, to answer your question, I know you're going to ask me in a minute, to answer your question, the Bug's Life pattern, this is what it looks like now. Just to show you, we are nearly done. Cass is waiting for the photo, so it's all done. If you're waiting on it, it will go up as a digital download and a hard copy pattern Friday. And this is just one little, just because I need to finish this here quilt so we can take the photo to put it on, and that kind of works timing wise with Steve getting back. So I'm sure I could work it out, but I don't want to muck it up. So it's kind of timing wise it all works. I know a lot of you, Lynn, and you guys have all got your fabric on your way to you at the moment. The other thing too, I was just emailing Anne Reith, poor Anne. She's gone, where's my pattern? The offer of getting a free pattern for your fabric pots. The way that it worked, out was our printer really played up, and I wanted to get the orders out. So I'm actually sitting down after today's show because the offer was up until, I think it was up until midnight, I can't remember, Monday night or something, to pop in your free pattern for this with your order if you ordered anything pre-cut. So Anne's got hers today, it was express post, something like that. So anyway, I'm very sorry, but they're not in there because I literally couldn't print them. So I'm going to sit down this afternoon, everyone that ordered a pre-cut pack from Wednesday show last week will get emailed their free pattern for the little pots. Now, I wanted to get the 2 done because with the newsletter this week, for those girls that don't know everything on Facebook, I wanted a picture of the 2 of them because the pack that we've also got, and I've put it under today's banner, under show 48, comes with enough to make 2. So you'll be able to make 2 of them, one with shadow play lining and one with stripe. So you get all of that in, and it's $15 for the pack to make both of those with the pattern. So it's pretty cool. Hey, I also just wanted to show you when I cut all of these out. Remember I said if you're really frugal, because they're a 4-inch cut, you'll cut your 2.5 strip to make your blocks. You've got 1.5-inch strips left, and I did manage to do it with all of them. So I'm going to be able to make a fabric pot with my leftovers from my quilt, my pre-cut pack. That's the pack, and again I think there's 3 of those left, and there's 3 meters of the bug fabric left. So you need 1 of these, a meter of the bugs, and then also you need 1.5 meters of, I think it's called smoke. Don't quote me on that. It's shadow or smoke. Anyway, it's the only solid that I've marked under today's show. It's a dark grey. It's not charcoal like it should be. It's called something else. So that's a little pack. And I will do a little pack of these in the kits for the blue one. Now, these will look good. I think these will be fine. I know they don't look good sitting on the quilt on the wall. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun. And in terms of quilting thread, we do, don't we? We've got a variegated King Tut kind of in all of these. We do. I know we do. And it's kind of gotten like an Egyptian-y name. Oh, we'll have to have a look, but I'm quite sure we've got a really good aqua blue variegated. So I'll hunt that down and make sure that I use it to quilt it. And then I can let you know how it comes up. So now you know I'm not sleeping between now and Saturday's show. Can I work backwards? Can I work backwards? Yeah, so Karen, it will be up on Friday, and that'll sort of coincide with me getting this done, popping it up for you as well. Obviously, when I do this one, we won't call it a Bug's Life, will we? We'll have to find another name for it. Oh my goodness. My craft room, says Sylvia, will be ready next Tuesday, all ready for me to get started again. Excellent. Glad to hear it. You could, Sylvia. You could use a really dark blue. What have we got? I don't know that we've got navy in stock at the moment, but we do have Liberty. I tell you what I have got outside. I've got 6 boxes, and they contain 42 bolts of more solids, more colourwork solids, because we're working towards this project. And my gorgeous distributor said, that supplies them to me, look, I've got all these bolts sitting here. I was going to get them like 10 delivered a month or something. And he said, can you just take the whole lot and we'll worry about it later? I've gone, sure, no problems. But now they're all sitting out there waiting for me to find room for them. So, yes. But I will be sure to show them all to you. What do I have to tell you? I've told you about Shadow Play, Bug's Life, New Flower One, fabric pots. That's pretty much it. I do want to talk to you about packaging. We'll start. There's a couple of things, but I wanted to talk to you about our packaging. I know that sounds weird, but it's a little bit of a explanation of why we package things the way we do when we send them to you. So I'll do that for you in a bit. Because I don't know if you realise how much kind of thought goes into it. Do you know that new ironing mat that we've got, those little mini ones? I had that sitting here this morning, and I still put my iron on my cutting mat, and I've got a bubble right there. So just shows you've got to have one, don't you? So you don't wreck your board. Okay. Now, with with the quilt on the wall behind me, it's, as I said, what I did after we finished the applique sampler, the thing I haven't finished for the third time at the moment. And this quilt behind me was all about learning different piecing techniques as opposed to applique techniques. Obviously, there's some paper piecing on here that then had to be appliqued onto the background, but you get the gist of it. So let me just take the bugs off because that's really bugging me now. Excuse the pun. So there's lots of different techniques. There's pinwheel blocks, so a lot of strip sewing, cross cutting. We did a lot of bias work in here. This quilt, to my knowledge, never actually got published as a pattern. This quilt always stayed, in-house at Chandler's Cottage in our first house when I was teaching from home. So it's never actually gone out as a pattern. And I can tell you, reading the instructions, I can testify to that. They're pretty rough and ready, and they're just a good old Word document, and it's pretty rough. So I really want to remake this quilt, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it, if you like, as a formal club with you, because a lot of the elements of it, you could actually just do one or two of them as really nice cushions. Some will work as table runners. Some of them can be taken as elements and used in other quilts. So what I would like to do, and this is just a little preview, a little bit of a play today, one Saturday a month, or one day a month, we'll pick a day, we will work on this quilt, and I will do a full demo on the show. And then if you decide you'd like the kit with the instructions, you can order it. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. And I'm going to do exactly the same with my Oriental Baltimore. Natasha's just finished it. She's got one version over there, and I've got the original here. So I'm setting up kind of at the moment that, say, for argument's sake, the first Saturday in the month, we will do a block or a section from this quilt, and the third Saturday of the month, we'll do a block from the Baltimore. And you can just decide, you can watch the whole demo. You've got a lot of techniques and stuff. I'll upload them onto Facebook as well. There will be extra value bits and bobs and applications for my A Quilter's Life girls as well. Oh, sorry, I'm just stating the obvious though. If you're a Quilter's Life member, you will get the patterns. So the Quilter's Life membership's $10 a month, and I will be putting the patterns up for Quilter's Life members. So if you're in that club and you've got your own stash, you're good to go and you'll be able to do it. So that's going to be amazing value to be a member, as well as the geisha, and the geisha is officially starting on the 1st of July. That is official. So there's going to be so much stuff to keep you busy over winter, and very economically if you are a Quilter's Life member. So there's lavender up here. Now I'm going to redo that. See, I look at it now and there's things that I'm going to change just a little bit. So this is Grandmother's Braid. We've got irises. We've got, where am I? Getting dizzy. Down here, you can't see. Hang on, I've got to pick it up. Hopefully I can pick it up without, oh hang on, I've got bolts of fabric sitting on it. What's that over, oh yes. Okay. There we go. If I lift carefully this side up, Can you see that? If you can see that now. Down there under the machine, that's a big allium or a big chive onion head. So that's all foundation paste. And then I've got to be so careful because of the shelves up there. And then we've got pansy blocks underneath. So this is just going to be a little journey that will go on. The special offers on the kits will kind of be limited. They won't be ongoing forever ever. They might be available for about a week, because otherwise it gets a little bit difficult. So with that in mind, I just wanted to have a little play today and give you a little sneak of the poppy block up here, but I'm doing it in really, really rich, decadent colours. I hit a security blanket every now and then where I go, when do we start that one? Wait, what did I miss? Yes. Oh, thank you, Pam. Oh, yeah, I'll go and get the packaging in a minute. we're going to start this one. So I would say if we make, what's the date today? If we make this, when will we start? Not this Saturday, the next one. How's that sound to you? So we'll officially come in next Saturday week. And we will do, I'm going to start the poppy block now, but I'll have one finished to show you, and we're going to get cracking now. Obviously what I will also do, I'm going to choose colours as I go, but pretty much along the colours that are in this, I'm going to stay pastel. I'm going to make myself do it. But I'll choose colours that you can choose to run. As Sylvia said, you can run them on a pale grey, you'd be able to run them on a dark navy blue, or you'd be able to run them on black or on cream. And I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but in my head just now, do you know where I went? I went denim. What happened? Where'd that come from? I don't know. I just went, oh, in that beautiful rich dark denim. That's just going to give it a little bit more of a contemporary look and make my pastels pop. And I must say, this quilt behind me, she has faded. She's hung in some sunny spots over time or over a couch or something, and it has faded. So I think, yeah, that might be. I know why my head did denim, because I'm still working on Field of Flowers. But I think we'll go denim. Anyway, this block first. Now, with what we were doing. With our Bugs Life, our Oriental Windows, whatever you want to call it, this poppy block up here, I hope you can see it okay. If you have a close look, these are for, where's one I ironed? They're 4 of this. So that is my cut off corner block. And there's 4 of them put together without putting the cut off corners on the center of the flower. So this is what I want to just go through with you so you can have a look. And it's just going to be the first one. And the reason I wanted to do it today is I had this gorgeous little group come in. And hold up for you. Now these have been here for a couple of weeks. We've just been too manic. I haven't had a chance to show them. Well, do them justice. I think I showed them to you, but do them justice. So this is, look at that little pack. Just beautiful. I've called it Regent because I just think it's very regal. It's a Regent's. I've called it Regency. So they're all Banatics, they're beautiful. There's 3 of the scrolls, the little vine swirls, this beautiful little thing with the gold sprig, and then I've thrown in the black. So to me, this pack would look absolutely gorgeous with my poppies, which I've got my little bits cut out ready. Poppies here, some of this for one of these for the foliage, and then I'm going to use the black gold for the center of my flower, and I'm going to set the whole thing onto black. So I just want to get this one started. This is my little trial run for this block, because there's quite a few changes I want to make in this block as well. So I'm none too happy with the bias work on here. So I really want to change this around. So I'm not going to have this long bit out here. I'm actually going to have a little branch across here, and then this bud will actually pop out onto that side. And I'm going to change that one round on a different orientation. I just think I can make it a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to do. The other, I will confess, the other good thing about changing the bias is that this pack is fat 8s, and I needed to make sure that I could get, if I do that, to fold it on the bias, so we've got our bias strips for our binding. I needed to make sure that wherever I wanted to put the stems, that cross cut to get your fabric on the bias for your bias strips was long enough. So there was 2 reasons to do that. But I've popped this little pack up today. Now, on top of all of I said about Quilters Life member, you know, are going to get it. You will be able to buy a kit for it. If you buy this pack today, I'm also going to pop the pattern in for you for this poppy block. So either way, you're going to get your hands on it. It won't be a free download. It won't be a download or a free download. It will come with the kit for each block, or it will be in a Quilter's Life, or if you grab this pack. And I will say too that because it's Wednesday, if you order anything between now and Saturday, you can do multiple orders, and I'll combine them after Saturday's show if you're happy to wait. If you don't want to wait, just put send now on your comments for me, and I will pop them straight out. But if you've got the time to wait, you'd like to wait until Saturday's show. Why did we just go really dark in here? Well, it's the light coming in the window. Hang on a minute, girls. I was like, what happened? It's the light. It's the light. Hang on. Heavens me. That's a bit better. Is that better? Holy moly. You all went in the dark. That's a bit better. Oh yes, just. I might have to go and shut that one as well. Okay, so I've got, so either way, you're going to get your hands on it. So, and then see what it's all about is then I've got you hooked, and you want to do them all. See, aren't I naughty? That's the way it's got to work. Catherine, you're back already. No, hang on, no you're not. Oh, she's an... Catherine, we've been through this with everyone here. You're on holidays. You do not have to watch Chandler's Cottage. Where are you? Fiji, aren't you? Or Bali or somewhere. I just don't. We'll have words when you get back, that's for sure. All right. With this pattern I have resurrected from the archives. We've got much smaller pieces to work with than we have for our Bugs Life quilt. So these are the size of our petals. They're little teeny weeny ones. And these poppies are 3 different sizes. So I've got large, medium, hold your horses, you ready? Small, teeny weenies. But, the technique is all the same. So it's not really going to matter. Well, once you've got it, you've got it. Now, I only need... Hey, you're all in trouble because you all bought out my new rulers. What's going on? I have to go and order more. You all bought these ones. They're great, aren't they? These are 1.5 inch squares. So I'm going to have to ring my creative good ruler man and order more. It's safe to talk about him. He doesn't have phone reception, I'm sure, where he is at the moment. But I was given the lobotomy on how to pack the rulers, and it was all very complex and complicated, and used this bit of recycle here and there. And of course, Smarty Pants me this morning realised that if I took, and some of you will see them when you get them, if I take a bolt, an empty bolt, some of them come with 2 bits of cardboard, I can just slip the ruler in between. So I was quite chuffed about that. We do need to talk packaging. Okay, did you see that? I just nicked a 4.5 because I think this 4.5 size is going to be fantastic for all these little bits. And that's just my excuse. So now I've got the full set in my sewing room. You don't really want to be working with anything bigger than this, do you, when you get down to small bits? I don't think. I love this. So it tells me 1.5. It's actually written there. How many do I need? So I will need 12. And these are 4 each, well, not more. I'm not going to bore you with the whole shebang today, but at least I can give you a look. If you have a machine with an automatic thread cutter or a hover foot, you're going to love it for doing these. Alright, the debate's out. Okay, do you want to bother drawing on your diagonal line for these? I have a limit, And I don't usually mark anything less than 2 inches on a good day. If I'm a bit tired, I can go a little bit astray. But you really, you know, it's going to be up to you when they get really small, whether you think you need to mark them up or not. Now, if did I get sidetracked before? Did I actually tell you or not? I did not, did I? All the shadow plays, except for a couple of them that I took offline to use for kits, are on sale. I forgot to tell you. There's a fair few of them there that are marked from 26 down to 18. I'm just cleaning out again. You know, shadow play, we will keep core colours and stuff moving forward this year, but there's only so much stock I can hold, and with all the new solids and things coming in, there's masses more to come, and batiks. Something has to give. It's not that we don't love shadow play, we do, but if I look forward to the projects that we've got this year, if it doesn't play a major part, we'll cut back what we keep for now. I've got a real issue with pricing on fabric, you know. I suppose I think like a quilter. No, hang on, sorry. I think like someone that doesn't own a quilt shop, sorry, I need to clarify that, that why would I pay $26 for a plain fabric when I pay $26 for a metallic fabric screen printed in Japan? It just gets to me every now and then. So I am looking that when we go to our coordinates, like our solids and our batiks and things, that they are a little less, quite a bit less than paying for the high-end fabrics, because they're the ones a lot of the time that we need the volume of to do sashing, background, binding, backing, all those sorts of things. And the shadow plays are still 26, even though they're a plain. So, just, you know, trying to make it feasible for everyone. All right, I'm heading to the machine, but what didn't make it on the list that's sitting on my stool is, gee, I knew there was something else I had to tell you I'd finished. I must have done something. I finished it. I finished it. So if you bought the kit for the Under the Australian Sun butterfly designer tote, you can now go to the website, click on that and print the picture out, so you've got it to go with your kit. So thank you to all of those that ordered before it actually finished, that had the faith that it would be all right. And there's the 2 little purses. So I had a lovely time making this up in my clean sewing room on Monday. And it was great fun. So here, you know how we fussy cut all the medallion ones? So here I just went for lots and lots of butterflies, and then on the back I've got one of the Ulysses popping up. You would have seen this on Facebook or Insta, but just want to say it's finished. There are fresh kits up. Thank you to those that have waited for their kits, because I had to wait for Black Magic to come back in, and it's now back in stock. Heaven forbid we run out. So that's all done. Strippy. Hey, what I could also do, if I didn't want to make my fabric pot with my leftover strips from this pack, I could just go out there and get a really funky zip, couldn't I? And make up a couple of these for prezzies. Now I have to think. Anyway, I loved doing it. I really did enjoy it. I think it was just really nice to come back and work with the butterflies again. That was the main thing. Right, let's head to the machine and we'll get some of these blocks done so we can have a quick look and see how this poppy is going to come together. And we'll head over here. So I hope you're all right and you're all good. It's really, you know, sometimes it's really hard. I think because we have done the soiree and we've sort of caught up with a lot of people in person, then I haven't seen you all for about 3-4 weeks. It feels wrong, even though I hadn't seen you for about 3 years. So, but it is just so much fun, the thought of doing our second one. This holds a few other elements. So for those that are coming up to perhaps stay a night, Marg and I had a great time at the rowing club, and it turns out that Jocelyn, that is coming to the soiree, she worked there forever, and she actually ran the place and was in charge of the amazing renovations, or helped do those. So it's pretty exciting, isn't it? There's also, Petra van der Moosdijk told us about this fantastic rick-rack fabric upcycling vintage shop, and we stuck our faces against the windows, and I'm sure we left an imprint. I've got some photos that I'll pop in our newsletter. But yeah, Jocelyn's going to talk to her and make sure she's open on the Friday afternoon and possibly late on the Saturday, so that you can go and have a look. We do feel like we're kind of taking over the town, but in a really silly way. But, you know, oh, I nearly did it. Did you try and stop me? Did you go, Lisa, don't put one on the fourth side. But, you know, if we have a full house, as we expect to, over the weekend, there will be, you know, between 100 and 200 quilters in Gamby. Wow. Oh, I said I wouldn't mention it again, didn't I? Sorry, I forgot. Just so excited. Very excited. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm trying to find an excuse, you know, like a drama. Rob, we have to go back before the soiree so that I can take him to Chateau to Birkenfell's Linery on the way. And Margie's husband, Ralph, is home. He's had a shoulder reconstruction this week. So, you know, the poor man has weeks and weeks of recovery to go. But all we care about is that he's going to be up for helping us one-handed at the soiree. Go. Steve's coming, and he's going to be security and camp out the back of the hall. That's just an excuse to camp. Don't think for a second we need the security. Alright, so with these particular flowers, I'm calling it a poppy. This is my third one, girls, so then we'll get back to the board. So I'm calling it a poppy, but you could interpret it as anything. Really, just really lovely big flowers. You could mess around with what colours you use. You could embellish each of the petals as well. A lot more than I have. Maybe I will go back and embellish mine a bit more. Gosh, that denim is just in my head now. I'm going to have to go and have a look at how much we've got in stock and order some more. And I can't decide if I want the dark or the medium. I think the dark, yeah, because it's going to make it pop. Oh, I did it. Oh, now you tried to stop me that time, didn't you? Okay, I'll take that one off. It's just habit because I've been doing all the other blocks all morning. Got myself a little wound up here. Come on. All right, we'll just take it out and go again. There we go. Right. Put this one on. It wasn't really good for the old diet on the weekend. Sylvia Trencher, aren't you just gorgeous? Did you see that? I know, Dana, but I'm going to bang on about it for the next 2 months. So everyone, did you just see what Sylvia just did? She just offered a bedroom for the soiree. You're a legend. We are staying at the Waterfront Apartments, which are directly opposite the venue, the hall, and that's kind of organisers have to, so that we're close and we can cart stuff back and forth. You can see my finger now, girls. That is not dirt. That is balsamic vinegar. I've got tomatoes slow roasting in the oven in balsamic. Yeah, so we're staying at the Waterfront, and there is, I'll put in the newsletter, but they are offering a 10% discount for soiree. attendees, which is pretty flash. And then if you stay at the waterfront, there's a discount at the brewery. It's a kick on. But the Saturday night we will be we're booking dinner at the rowing club, and then that'll be a nice big night. We can catch up with everyone. Right, one more on here. There we go. Now, I've done this really quick. This is my disclosure now. I've done this really quick to show you. If you do it at home, please stop and secure off when you start and stop. I just think when they get down this small, that you might get just a little bit of an unravel. So I'll trim my threads off. You know, it's such a toss-up to decide where to start with fabrics. Logic states I should go with what we have in stock all the time, shouldn't I? So we should go batiks, fusions, under the Australian sun. In fact, there would be some that we could use, the metallic purples up here and the pinks. But we'll see. I just want to put an ombre in there. I can't help myself. I want ombre in there. Hey, remember this thing the other day? See, I just want to go somewhere in there and put that on denim. It's a bit bright, but I think we could go solids. Oh, it's just too hard. It's too hard. Whatever I choose, though, I need to just make sure we'll keep a record of everything, because as we go, if I use something up here and I want to use it down there, we have to make sure that we've got it all the time. So that's the challenge, but I'm up for it. Yesterday, Em and I spent the whole day, and that is not an understatement, it takes that long, sitting in front of my 2 geisha quilts for the 3rd and final time, and we bit the bullet and we worked out the requirements for the fabric kits for it. We worked out how many months it would be, and based on the requirements, I now know how many kits I can offer to my Quilters Life members that joined before, whatever it was last year. I think it was the 1st of July, or it was the 31st of July. I will double check. But those members get first dibs on the first kit, and then it will go out for the second, and then there will be other kits available if you want to join us for that online course. And the online course for the geisha is part of your $10 a month membership. So you're going to get masses, absolutely masses to do. You know, and if you remember and you order one of the block kits, you're still going to get a copy of the pattern anyway. But if you use your own fabric, you'll be good. A lot of it you'll be able to do even with, if you've got a stash of your applique essential packs, like these guys. I mean, that is well and truly enough to do. Oh, they look good in hot pink. They look, you know, if you've got some of those, none of these pieces are bigger than 4 inches. So it'd be really good to use them. I actually don't know if there is anything bigger than 4 inches. Huh. I'm going to think about that now. We might be looking at the kit a little differently. Okay, so I've got these with just the 3. I have other fabrics up here I need to show you. So the rich decadent pack that I did, that we're putting the poppy pattern with, that really was inspired by, I don't know, the thought of the poppies. And also, I think I mentioned to you previously, it's just a little bit left field Christmas colours. You know, it's not contemporary red and green. It's beautiful tomato, rusty red and sage green. So it just, you know, if you want something a little bit different, a little bit classy, and there'll be no laughing at me talking about Christmas, because I think every Christmas from now on is going to get a little bit bigger, and I'm very keen to do a Christmas in July here this year. Not sure what Christmas will curtail for us this year, because we're looking at moving in the new year. So, you know, we might be a little bit busy, or I might just be really flat out working on new things for the next year for you and me as well. But I think after last Christmas, as you all now know, Rob was in Peter Mac recovering from cancer op, and I was home with COVID, and Steve had COVID, and Phil was isolating for COVID, all separately. So we tried to look at it differently, that Christmas is just one, we're down to that, it's just one day a year thing. It's nice to get the family together. But I'm thinking Christmas in July, put the family together, without all of the pressure and the hype of the 25th of December. And there'll be fairy lights. So I don't know where we're going to put the family though if I do Christmas in July. Oh, you know why? Because you know I'm getting the flash new copier, so we can do a lot more printing for you and us in-house and do really, really cool things. Like if we do a quilt that's got a 1.5 metre border, I'm going to be able to print it all in one piece, and you'll be able to lay it all out in one go and trace it onto your border all in one go. Anyway, it kind of means I have to give up the dining room. Yeah. So we're slowly turning our house into a home business, and it's now like I call it a home factory. It's a home factory, or it's a home warehouse. I don't know what it's going to be. Anyway, it's all very cool and exciting, and you know, then we'll move and we'll have a bigger spot to put everything. Right, let's have a look at these. Sorry, yeah, overhead's not playing nicely, but can you see that? How cool's that? So that's all going to go together as my first poppy block, and then the other two just get smaller. Picnic outside sharing keys is a go, just not in July. Yes, I agree. Hello Ruth, how are you in WA today? Petra, you're here, we've been talking about you. Did you know? We have. And the girl in the Gamby, and Jocelyn's onto it. Okay, I'm going to take these back to the machine, because you would agree, yes, that we just need to see how these come together. Now, do we have to be super careful, do we, about pinning? Let's have a look. I can't remember. Aha, all right. Now, we've got two seams going that way. Usually we would abut our seams, but we're going to leave them like that. I mean, these are poppies. These ones are going to be red, orangey red. The ones on the wall are yellow. But you can do any colour. If you made them purple, then they're not going to be poppies anymore. They're going to be something else gorgeous. You could do green ones and turn them into 4-leaf clovers. So a little bit of skill required, because, not really, just a bit of time, and just be careful, because you want to get these two seams matched up as best you can, and to stop them wiggling around, I'm going to put a pin just on each side of that seam to hold it there. I expect that there will be some tears and a little bit of reverse sewing. Yeah, I'm going to just do a little reverse here. Yeah, so if you've tuned in late, I'm sending out the fabric pot pattern by email individually to you all that have ordered pre-cuts in the last week, or since last Wednesday show. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Tuesday, but you get the gist. and you can use leftovers from your Bugs Life quilt, and those patterns will be available on Friday. You can use anything. How'd we do? Not bad. Under Pressure, live on Facebook. Not bad. What's that little bit in there? Okay. See if I can flick it again. Look really, really different on the black. Oh, I've got other new black fabrics to show you too. I'm probably going to use those Saturday. Saturday's show's called On the Couch. Why? Because we'll be finishing off our bug quilt, which is essentially a couch quilt, and I'll be working on the other one in the floral, in the blue periwinkle floral, and we are going to have a look at some cushions. So I'm going to make this one that we're doing now into a cushion, and you would have worked out by now you've got masses of fabric to make this poppy block from your pack of 8 fat 8s that we put up, the Regency pack, to the point where you could use some for the back, and you could also use the black for the center of the poppy flowers, not too shabby, and also for perhaps a border around it. This block comes up to 15 inches, so you've got room to add a little bit more for an outer border for a standard cushion size. Now, what are we going to do about these seams? Oh, you guys just sort yourselves out. I just love it, you know. And this is, to me, really about, you know, the soiree is one thing, but it's really about a whole heap of like-minded girls coming together, and I love it. Did I tell you about, you know, I did the table deck. We had pots of lavender, and I had mirrors and stuff for the tables at Garfield, and we will use the mirrors and stuff again, right? So we're at Nagambie, and Margaret, Margaret's a foot taller than me? I don't know how much taller. So I'm marking out the hall, and Margaret's marking it out, and of course I'm getting way more meters than her because she's taller than me. So we're doing all of this, and we said to the lovely ladies there, how many can you fit in this hall? Well, the hall is just not being used except for their children's weddings. So there's wedding photos out, and we're looking at table arrangements and how they laid out the hall, and which was fantastic and very, very helpful. But one of the weddings had beautiful table decorations. Long story short, they're lending them to us for the soiree. I mean, this is what they're like. They're just amazing. And we've gone, what? Oh, you don't want to have to cart stuff up from Melbourne, and they've only been used once, and my daughter would be thrilled if you would use them for the soiree. So, how nice is that? Just lovely. So we will be inviting the couple of ladies that look after the hall hire down to have a look and have a cuppa with you on the Saturday or Sunday afternoon, because they're just also excited that someone is coming up, or anyone is coming to use the hall. So yeah, it's just lovely. But to me, it's just so exciting to have girls from all different, I don't know, what do I want to say, quilting backgrounds and things all get together, different locations, and it'll be good. It'll be good, it'll be good. Alright, I have decided while talking to you, the other side of my brain decided to press these seams open rather than abut them. So that's going to be a personal choice. Now, the reason I decided I could get away with opening them up so that I get a really nice flat center to pop a little Suffolk puff or something over is because the center where they all intersect is going to be hidden under the Suffolk puff. So that kind of gets rid of any anxiety or risk of tears and unpicking, reverse sewing. Do you know what would be really good about using the denim? Is it's extra wide. So it's going to be really good value for money as well. It'll look gorgeous. If you do it on a white background or an off-white or a cream, it's going to look really lovely. But I think for me, so that you can see the blocks really easily on the wall and the colour pops, and I can photograph it, I'm going to run a darker colour. I think I'm glad we've all had this meeting. Okay, I'm going to brag. I'm going to have to brag because this is, oh, not that way, this way. I'm right smack centre. Now, and the only reason that happened is because I was showing off to you, and I flattened it out and I did pin it right on the seam and then a little bit each side so that nothing moved. Just give it a press. So in this block, there's only up here, I've only used one green, and I will do that on our block we're doing for the quilt. But I think with this one, because I'm essentially cutting it from that gorgeous Regency pack that I'm putting the pattern with, I will use two or three different, I will use the three, there's four greens, I'll use at least three of them for the bias. And then you just see the little cut off corners in here. See, there's teeny weeny little ones here that are a green cut off corner. And these little buds are done, instead of it being a square, you've got little strips of fabric that you add a cut off corner onto. So it's the same technique, you're just doing it on the end of a strip instead of on the corner of a square. And they're going to get us our little buds. It's so interesting going back and making a quilt that I designed a long time ago to the point where I don't remember. I remember designing it, but I don't remember the intricacies of doing it. This is the quilt that I'm sure I've told you before. I finished it for teaching, and I had a girlfriend say to me, there you go, you're done. I had a girlfriend say to me, you know, that's not too shabby. You should put that in showcase in the Melbourne, in the Victorian Quilters Showcase, a craft and quilt show. And I went, no, I can't, because it really was a teaching quilt. So there were some dodgy, you know, little points and things. I know there's some over this side somewhere, where I've gone through and I've stuck like little, you know, flowers. So I said, no, I can't, because some of the seams haven't abutted really well. And I thought, well, I know what I'll do. I'll cover them up with my little cherry blossoms or Suffolk puffs, which we'll do with this quilt. And so I did that. And then when I stood back and looked at it, I've taken a lot of them off now. There was heaps on here. All of the folds were at one end of the quilt. Therefore, all of the added blossoms were at one end of the quilt. So there was a lot of swearing, and I had to go make a heap more to balance them all out over the whole quilt. And then it got judges' commendation, beautiful embellishment. That was it. I didn't win anything for the design or the colours or the techniques or anything. It was all about the embellishment with the, yeah. I've taken a lot of those off in protest now, because it really is about, you know, it's about learning from your mistakes as well. Who entered the building when I wasn't looking? You're all good down here. Did I see that Jimmy's here? I did. Hello, Anthea. How are you? I did. Hi, Jimmy. How are you today? Good to see you. Diana, Diana and I live on the other sides of the world. However, if we ever get together, it's going to be scary. But I promise I'll put it on Facebook when we do it. Thanks, Nancy. Do I sell the... Bernadette. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I have tried. They're currently out of stock of this particular one. I'm sure you can pick these up, can't you? In like Kmart and Target and stuff. I don't know, but I love this one. So I do have them on back order. They're Matilda's own brand. I really, really like this one. So I'm going to have it on back order. They're very good for ironing stuff, and also I reckon come summer, a little bit of a spray would be very, very nice. So good, glad to hear it, James. Good to see you here. But yes, I'm trying to get these. Okay, so that is our little poppy block. Look, how different does that look? So I think, look, it's super easy. I've been able to talk underwater to you while I'm making it. And then the other ones we're going to come down, and these are smaller. So I'm doing my medium one in this pretty scroll that's down here. And then I'm doing the smallest one in this little pretty one here. And then I'm going to use this gorgeous black to do the centers, you know, go all out or nothing. They're going to be my centers. And then I really do think I'll do a border of that right round the outside just to make it bigger as a cushion. I didn't tag our zips today, but you and I both know that those fabrics would look drop dead gorgeous with our black and gold zips. So if you love continuous zip, like the ones that's in these purses, like that one. So you buy a measure of that, and then you go off and choose your little pack of pulls to go with it. But I think that if you're a zip person for your cushions, that on the edge sitting next to that black would look really, really nice. Now, what's with the Aussie accent today? Nice. Just before I go, because we were here for a short term, not a long term today, weren't we? I don't know. What did I have to tell you? Alright, so I told you, Black Magic's back in stock. Sorry about that. Very, very sorry about that. Won't happen again. I know why we ran out so quick, and we missed it. It must have been on a stock report, because Steve was cutting up 1 1/4 metre lengths at a time to go in these kits. That's where it all went. I do have, now that, don't panic, that's only a little bolt of that dark grey that's been tagged on today's banner. I've got another full bolt. No, it still doesn't have the name on the end of it. Okay, there's 2 more. I didn't put them up on set because they clash big time. The others in these beautiful, rich, decadent fabrics. Now, we have our beautiful deluxe fat 8th pack of blacks, and I think I took a little bit off that today. I didn't even bring one onto set, but I took a little bit off, just a bit. When they are gone and we go back, we might put some of these in. I don't know, but we've got lots of other new rich decadent blacks. These 2 I didn't put in the pack with the black scroll, because to me that was the whole story going on. These 2 though, when these arrived, I do laugh at myself a lot, don't I? Look at those. When these arrived, I unpacked these at my front door. We live in a long old 1970s at the moment merchant builder's home, which is the whole, you know, exposed Besser brick thing going on. They were designed to be long houses with those little, it's got the little glass hallway in between the main lounge room, dining room, which is now going to be my printing studio, and the master. And then there's the little walkway. You've seen it on Facebook, you can see through it sometimes, or on Quilter's Life or Craft and Quilt, whatever. And then it goes through the rest of the house. It's 19 metres long. It's huge. I ran 19 metres from the front door because I unpacked these at the front door. And I ran because I just had to go and get a bolt of my baby. Look at that together. Look at that. And then, you know, I get so sidetracked because I'm thinking, oh, it's a frame in this, and then it's got to be, this is Oriental, so it's got to be Oriental pot, it's an urn, it's a, what is it? I don't know what it is yet. I really don't. But the 3 of them together, they're just hanging out together in the fabric room, and they get along really, really well. So what I decided to do, I've tagged them both for today. If you buy, because they belong together, if you buy a metre of each of these 2 new ones, so you will see them, they have got the word charcoal on them. They're not the other ones. This one is Fleur in charcoal, and this one is Fleur charcoal. So they're both charcoal. If you order a metre combined of these 2, I am actually going to send you with them for free. for free ½ metre of this. So I don't care if you buy a metre of the paisley, you can buy a metre of the paisley and you'll get ½ metre of this. You can buy a metre of the scroll and you'll get ½ metre of this. If you buy ½ metre of each of them, I will send you ½ metre of this. If you buy, and this is the clincher, if you buy 2 metres, you will get a metre of this. It's incremental. Alright, so I had to. They belong together, and why shouldn't I? Hey, Steve's away. I can do what I want. So, yeah, so these two, just these two, I'm doing. What is that up there? It's a cut off corner. Just these two. But they're just beautiful, and they belong with it. To me it's it's like a decadent oriental urn, or it's English paper piecing with the EPP, you know, with the octagons that you get the lattice work. Maybe that's in my head because of the geisha at the moment, but yeah, they're really, really pretty. And there's also, just so you know, and we probably won't get to using them ourselves for a little while, maybe a bit of a Christmas in July, but the scrolls come in these two beautiful, classic colours as well. There's two very subtle different creams. Look at that. So this one really comes down into that antique gold colour, and this one is much softer, but they're both gorgeous. Actually, while you're looking at them, I'm just going to grab our packaging. Made me think of it. And one of these. Okay. And a bit of that. Right. So I just think I mean, I know we sell them in ½ metre pieces, and I will do my best to get some pre-cut packs ready for you. But to me, this almost qualifies as what I like to call the chewy checkout, that you grab ½ metre of this now, because you just know come Christmas, if you use a lot of gold fabrics, at some stage you're going to want just something like that sitting in your stash so you can pick it up and use it. So I thought I wanted to show you them now. Alright, before we go, packaging. Right, are you all still here? Sometimes I just think, I should just check that you're all alright. The mat on your machine. What mat on my machine? What mat on my machine, Sylvia? The mat on your machine, would love to buy. Why not? Why can't you buy it while you're on holidays, Catherine? Oh, because you can't. Alright, well, talk to me about that. Tell me when you're back. Maybe that's when we'll leave the offer till. Maybe that's what'll happen. Yes, exactly, Diana. You're absolutely right. Catherine says, we no longer have Target stores now, so they are closing them down. There's a lot of country Targets shutting. Yes, you're absolutely right. Ah, everyone's got me on radio. Okay, so we've done a lot of work in the last, since we've been home. What is it now? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 9 months. Heavens. Nearly 9 months on our packaging. And I know that a lot of you have got it. So I just wanted to show you again, if you didn't understand what we've done. So if you haven't had a look at your packaging, I know, this is a silly way to end a show, but these are the bags that we use 90% of the time. These are Hero bags, and they're made by this company called heropackaging.com.au. Now, you might have other things delivered in these. We were so excited they had a teal that matched my logo. So when you get this bag, don't throw it in the bin, because we do pay premium for these, because they are zero waste bags. And there's a cool little thing that you read on the back. Oh, hi there, you earth-saving legend. It goes on like that. So what it is about these bags, 2 things. And I'm going to waste one, but that's all right, because I can use it again. So when we seal your bag, we rip that off, we shove all of Petra's stuff or whoever's stuff in there, and we seal it down like this. The great thing about these is, for us too, that seal is not permanent for at least 10 minutes. So if we've forgotten to put your compliment slip or something in, we can open it again. There you go. All right, so when you get this bag, what you do is cut on this line, right? And cut down there, Then you get your stuff out. And look, you've still got one here. So you can recycle. You can use it a second time. Now we love this in case you need to send something back to us, heaven forbid. But also it means that when you send out something to somebody else, you can reuse this bag, and the sticker that's on the front, you just need to cover that with another label or a tape on the front, or peel it off if you can, and then reuse the bag. So that's one use for it. The other use is, these are home compostable. Is that how you say it? Compostable. It is. And they also break down. So what you can do, which I did last year, and it was fantastic, when I go to the nursery or I'm potting up seedlings or whatever, I actually cut this down to the size I need, or just wind it down, and I actually dig my hole in the ground, I poke a few holes in the bottom of the bag, and I plant my plant in this bag into the ground. Because the great thing is, you know, when plants, they're very needy for water and things when they first go in, so this makes your plant feel like it's still in its pot and it's not such a shock to the root system and things. So I plant in these into the ground, and then they slowly decay away as the plant grows, and its roots will grow through the sides, and it's wonderful. So, but you can just chuck them in your compost. They all break down. So when they do smell just a little bit, and that's why, because they're actually a compostable material. So that's that. Wrapped in double plastic as my pergola was leaking. Oh, really, Sharon? Oh, there you go. All right, so Sharon's just talking about rain, and rain can be a problem. So we used to use the peel and seals a lot to send our packages out in, but we have swapped to Ziploc bags because these are made from recycled material, whereas the peel and seals aren't. Now we still use peel and seals a lot. We have to have this super clear, shiny appearance for a lot of things we do, particularly when we are on selling them to other shops when they're in my fabric. So some things, that is the best thing for us to use. But when we pack your orders off for our kits now, we use these, which are the Ziploc bags. They don't look as nice, but these are recycled material, and they're also food safe standard. So when you've taken your fabric out or your kit out, all you need to do, just turn it out the other way, give it a little wipe, and you can use it for anything, and use it and use it and use it over and over again. So we use these a lot. I use these for freezing my meat. I may steal some every now and then, but you can use them for storing anything in the freezer, in the fridge. So take them with you to the supermarket so that you're not using their packaging at the supermarket, and pop your fruit and veg in these and then seal them up, and they're all good to go. I pack off biscuits and stuff in the freezer in them. So just so you know, that's one of the reasons we changed, so that we knew the bag was recycled material, and then you could keep using it again and again. That's why. And if you get some really pretty shoddy looking packaging sometimes, and it's not all beautiful, neat, tidy, clear bubble wrap or paper or packaging or cardboard, we try whenever we can to reuse or use packaging that's going to be dumped. So Rob's work, Cindy, they really work. I can't get them open with my bad wrist, the Ziplocs. Oh no, oh no, that's sad. So what we do is, whenever we can, we use packaging that was deemed for landfill. So the best, oh, my laptop's just doing that thing again. I'll fire up in a minute. What we actually do is, Rob's works in the food industry, has so much packaging all the time that is literally going out to landfill. So if you get blue bubble wrap, it has come food grade it's come from a food factory, and we use it whenever we can instead of actually buying bubble wrap. And the same with all the cardboard that we use. We either use recycled empty bolts, or it's coming from a factory. As Petra, was it Petra or Carol? Petra got something with, okay, I've banned the use of protein powder boxes because it's just confusing everybody, but everything else that we use was destined for landfill. So I hope that makes sense to you. some things, it kind of all evens out for us, yes, that when we are using things that we're going to landfill, yes, they are free, so it makes it cheaper for us, but then we kind of even it out by buying more expensive packaging to send things out in. But the main thing is that we're trying our best to sort of cover the bases of rain, hail, snow, sleet, heat, falling off the back of an Australia Post truck, all those sorts of things. We're just trying to cover it so your package gets to you safely. But at the same time, we're kind of doing all that we can for the environment, but also giving you packaging that you can use again and again and again and again. So that is very frightening. Whatever. Oh, here we go. You push this button over here. Thank goodness for that. All right, I'm going to love and leave you now. Long time. And hope that you have a great rest of the week. And I look forward to seeing you Saturday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. How's that suit everyone? Everyone busy? I know I'm competing. I know I am competing with the footy. But you can always watch the footy on replay. Am I allowed to say that? Okay. All right. I will get that newsletter out to you too about the soiree. It's very scary and frightening how quickly it's actually booking. So if you do want to come, I'm going to use that line on you a few times, but it's sort of really different this time because there's a lot of the girls up country that are booking too. So if you want to come up and have some fun, if you're down here in the city or wherever you are, please hop onto trybooking.com. And in the meantime, I've got a lot of sewing to do before I see you on Saturday. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm going to go and you can just look at this while I go and work out how to shut down Facebook again, won't you? Yes. Bye-bye, girls. Thank you. Bye, Jimmy. Catch you later. Bye.